Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking NBA action because there's more than just March Madness going on. We've got Sixers and Nuggets going head to head in Denver. We've got a promo code. The code is FINAL for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. The Nuggets are home favorites. -4.5. Total is 221. We've got the Sixers coming in 32-14. First in the East, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 26-17-3 against the number. Meanwhile, you've got the Nuggets who are 28-18, 22-24 against the number. And both these teams coming off the trade deadline, where most notably the Nuggets getting some shiny new toys to add to that lineup. Aaron Gordon coming from the Magic, and then JaVale McGee coming from Cleveland. My favorite Shaqtin' a Fool star. They also lost Gary Harris, the Nuggets did, a pretty solid defender, but Aaron Gordon, a nice pickup, and so is JaVale McGee. Both going to be good under the rim for the Nuggets down the stretch. But we've got Kurt Alexander here to break this specific game down for us. Kurt, what stands out to you about this Sixers and Nuggets matchup?
Well, the line right now is 4.5, and it's a back-to-back line with the Denver Nuggets. They were favored by 4.5 against the Atlanta Hawks, and they pretty much destroyed the Hawks. The Hawks were up, I believe, 4 at the end of the first quarter, and they were down 16 at halftime. And, from there on, it was just Denver all the way. And Denver does have a shiny new toy in Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon, 6 of 9 for 13 points in 21 minutes. Very efficient, fitting in with his new team well here. But I look at this Denver Nuggets team, and the fact that they had to go out and trade for that caliber player like Aaron Gordon and JaVale McGee lets you know that they might have had some issues. Denver's been really inconsistent on the year, especially at home. 13-9 at home straight up, 3-6 against the spread over the last 9 at home. I actually went against them yesterday, their first game back at home against Atlanta, and I'm going to go against them here again with Philly. Philly coming off a loss to the LA Clippers, and I really thought there would be a little extra push from the Philadelphia 76ers, Doc Rivers, facing off against his former team, especially since there was a lot of chatter after Doc Rivers was let go, saying that he couldn't win with a team like the Clippers. But I look at this Philly team, and it kind of reminds me of what happened in Golden State years ago when Mark Jackson had this Golden State team, but he just couldn't get them quite over the hump. But they were a talented team, and you bring in the right coach, and look what happens. And that's what's going on here with Philly. Philly's 6th in the NBA in scoring, number 7 in defense. And even though their road record isn't spectacular, they are 13-10 on the road this season. And they've been playing a lot of these games without Joel Embiid. And that just shows you what coaching does in this league. Without one of their best players, and Joel Embiid, the rim stopper and very good scorer, they're 6-2 overall and 6-2 against the spread without Embiid. So yeah, I'm definitely on this Philly side here. I'm looking for a bounce back game. Like I said, they lost to a Clipper team where I really thought that I would have seen more out of them. But when they play these good teams like the Clippers and Milwaukee, it seems like without Embiid, they just don't seem to match up well. The last really good team that they faced off with Embiid was the Utah Jazz, and they were able to come back that game from a double-digit deficit and win that game. So without Embiid here, I still don't consider Denver one of those upper top-level teams. So I look like this will be a game that Philadelphia could definitely hang in there with them and possibly get a win straight up out of them.
Yeah, I think the thing for me is the Sixers have been really good against the number, even without Embiid. And sometimes I think maybe the odds makers take too much out of the spread for that one, because if you look at the Sixers in their last 10, they've covered or pushed in 8 of their last 10 against the number. So pretty solid team against the spread, especially getting points. But Denver is going to be tough. But one of the things when you bet on the Nuggets, especially earlier on in the season, they would fade down the stretch. You would look like you're about to win your bet, going into the fourth quarter, and they would run out of gas. I don't know if some of these new pieces will help combat some of that, but it's definitely been a problem for the Nuggets. Let's talk about this total of 221. Do you have any leanings there?
If I had to, I would take this game under the total. This is the fourth road game for the Philadelphia 76ers. They have one more road game left before they get back home. And like I said, they're missing Embiid, which is one of their best rim protectors, but also one of their best scorers. So they found a way to win these games playing tough defense and scoring when they have to. I always bring up that New York Knicks game because I actually watched that game and it went into overtime and it still stayed under the total. But there was just so much fight in this Philadelphia 76ers team with clutch shots, hanging in there, not backing down because the Knicks are one of the better defensive teams in the league. But like I said, Philadelphia's ranked number 7 and going up against Denver until they could kind of fix things at home. And it was just one game. And the one game against Atlanta, to be honest, Atlanta scored 32 or 34 in the first quarter. And then I don't think they scored over 25 a quarter after that. They scored 20 in the second. So that was more Atlanta kind of fading and doing what Atlanta kind of does, more so than Denver just playing an excellent game. And Aaron Gordon, he's just got one game under his belt. It's going to take some time for this team to gel and get chemistry. So I think this is just a good spot to take the under with this one.
All right, that's going to do it for our NBA talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great stuff from Kurt Alexander as always. Kurt, thanks for joining us.